Hey, welcome to the Neka Said podcast. And if you're new here, I'm Neka Williams, a planner girl, mom to an 8-year-old husband, and a diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. At the end of 2016, I was happily fired from Amazon, which jumped off this online journey. After signing 2 clients within 10 days and booking out my services as a virtual assistant, I was thrown as the Facebook queen and Coach Neka was born. All that to say, I'm a virtual assistant and a VA coach helping women realize they don't have to choose between work and their family. You can have both. And if you're looking for financial freedom while also having family focus, this is the podcast for you. You'll learn how to grow a business that fits into your personal life and not the other way around. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Neka Said podcast. And today we're going to talk about a little bit of my onboarding process. I know a lot of people, when they're starting a virtual assistant business, they always want to know, okay, I have this client, now what I do. So I found that before when I was starting signing on clients, there was a little piece that was missing in between the call, the discovery call, and the point where I sent out the contract and the invoice. So I also talked to my business bestie too, who was in the services type of business. And we were both discussing how the back and forth of editing proposals and contracts was taking a lot of time out of our work week. So just imagine if you have 3 sales calls and they all want proposals. That can take a big chunk of your time just creating proposals to send out to potential clients. And that comes to say that is pretty much unpaid time. And so if the client or potential client has a couple of edits that they want to make to that proposal, then that's even more time that you're investing in kind of like updating, editing, sending it back out, to get them to sign off on it and start working with you. So I figured out a little hack that I started to use, and I kind of talked to my business bestie about it, and she was like, that's actually a really good idea, and it can save me a lot of time. So it's this one little piece that can save you so much time, and also make your clients feel more comfortable in signing on your services and signing the contract and paying the invoice. And so I call my little piece that's in between that call and the client, in the between the call and the contract, I call that my plan of action. And so it is simply just laying out exactly what I plan on helping the client do within a certain amount of time. And so I kind of fell into this by accident because one of my clients kind of asked me for one time, or one of my potential clients at the time asked me, exactly what did I think that we should start working on since she was signing on? And I was like, hey, I can just send you a kind of like a plan of action as far as how I think we should use the first set of our hours. So she signed on at 10 hours for the month, and then she was saying like she was asking like what should she kind of like start doing, what should she hand off to me. And so I went in from my notes that I took from our discovery call, and I kind of laid out a plan of actions for how I thought we should best use those first set of hours. And so once I sent that over to her, she was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I can see exactly what will be taken off of my to-do list and that what you'll be handling for me and in these next few weeks. And so she kind of loved that. And so I said, maybe I should do that for all of my clients. And so it kind of helps me also sign on clients easier because they can easily see what will be taken off of their to-do list, one, but also how we will effectively use those packages of hours that they have just bought. So we always want to get the best or the biggest bang for our buck. And so we also want to use our time efficiently. Like if we're signing on a VA, that is to like, I won't say guarantee you, but that's kind of like investing in that, going into a work relationship that I will have more time to focus on other things. So just laying that out for my clients have kind of like up my conversion rate a little bit as far as, okay, yeah, I definitely need you. I see exactly what you'll be doing. And this will save me so much time. I already see 10 hours that I can be invested in maybe my family time or actually growing my business. Or other things that I want to implement in my business that I just don't have time for right now. So what is exactly a plan of action? So a plan of action for me is simply an email because I found out that making edits to my proposal and my contract was so time consuming because I would have to First, find the template, edit the template, and then put it into some type of electronic signing platform online. Set it all up as far as where they were signed at, who, if they need to enter in any kind of information, and then go ahead and send that over to them. So when they're asking for edits, I have to do that whole process over again. And so just simply sending an email before I actually put in that work in the contract has saved me so much time. So I would just send them an email, simply thanking them for their time for the call, first of all, but also laying out exact tasks that I will be working on for our first few weeks or month together, or however long I feel like those package hours will be used. And so it is simply, I think a lot of people overthink things a little bit. So they're like, how can I lay it out? And I simply just send an email, 1, 2, 3, and say, hey, this is what we'll do. This is how much it is. And then this is, and then the number one thing that I put in there, that kind of like drive sale too, is I put in a like urgency. I create some kind of type of urgency. So I let them know that this plan of action with this at this rate will expire in a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is that we have discussed. So simply just laying out exactly what you'll be doing, even if it's maybe you have like project-based packages that this is the first project we will handle and this is what I will do. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time either. You can kind of like knock them out if you take notes like I do during the call as far as exactly what they want. So I kind of just go through all of that, everything we discussed on the call, and then lay it out in an email. And then I put in that urgency clause at the end, and then I can send that over. And so how it helps me is it definitely saves me so much time. Email is so quick to go ahead and edit, send over to them, and then wait for their approval. But it also helps them be able to clearly see out our plan. I think a lot of people, when we're as a VA and we're discussing different things that we'll do, it's kind of hard for them to wrap their head around it. Like, okay, yeah, you'll be handling my social media. Okay, you'll be doing my website updates. But exactly what we'll be working on right now. So kind of just laying out a couple of the tasks that we'll be doing immediately after they sign the contract kind of helps them get over that that fear that, okay, I'm investing in something, but it may not work for me. So it helps them, any kind of objections or fear that they're having in hiring a VA, and it kind of helps me save time. And it also helps me create the plan too, that I can just copy and paste right into my project management system. So even if it's Asana or Trello, then I just copy and paste those tasks right into there, and then I'm able to knock them out 1, 2, 3. So if you are finding that you're spending a lot of time editing contracts and editing proposals and sending things back and forth and omitting a lot of your documents, then I highly suggest you implement this into your onboarding process and kind of like streamline things to kind of keep things moving forward and keep and save you time. Like, we are VA, we're saving the other business owner time, but we also need to save ourselves some time too. And your clients will also love that you're sending them kind of like a reference for after the call, because a lot of us, when we're on the call, we're kind of jotting down things, but we may miss out on some things. So just having that reference after the call that has kind of like tasks that you guys have agreed upon or you think you'll be working on, and also have that price there and the urgency, like when it will expire, but also just having that document as far as everything's laid out as what you guys have discussed is a big hit for my clients too. We can't, like when we're talking on the phone, we're both taking our own notes. Of course, there may be things that are missed on either side. And so having this plan laid out where they can edit it and I can edit it and I can lay out things that will happen. It kind of gives them a reference for, something they can reference back to, and they can have that for their own records. So this has been a big change in my onboarding process that I think you should definitely try out for yourself too, and see, 1, will it save you time? And 2, will it help you sign more clients too? If you give them something that clearly lays out a plan, they may like that and they may want to sign you on because they can clearly see what you'll be working on. So make sure you let me know if you try this out, how you're liking it. But I will be back next week for another episode of the Neka Said podcast, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for joining me today, and make sure you check back next week for another amazing episode with actionable tips to grow your online business. In the meantime, leave a review and let me know your thoughts on today's episode. And if you want to see what I'm up to, check out my Instagram page at Coach Neka. Come hang out with other women on the same journey in the private free Facebook group, the Virtual Assistant Club. And remember, every day you're one step closer to the dream life you want. Keep going, girlfriend.